The price action today was absolutely insane. This is the cleanest price action we've seen in the markets, and I can't even remember the last time it was this clean. If you had trouble reading the market today, or if you struggled and took some losses today, this video is a must watch. So what do we see? The first 15 minutes right before the market opened, we had a doji there. That means there's sellers higher up in that area. So what do we got? We got CPI. We flushed immediately and then bounced off a key support. And then we came all the way back up and we did not meet any selling resistance until that doji at 9:15. Then when the market opened, what did we see? Just straight move to the downside. We were making lower highs and there was no indication that buyers were stepping in at all. We did not have a single green candle or green volume come in until 11. So from 9:30 until 11 was just straight to the downside. Now, a key thing to note is we bounced right around key areas of weekly support. You can see in that area, we bounced a couple times throughout the week. So as I always talk about, make sure you're plotting your weekly levels, your weekly lows, and your weekly highs. They come into play more often than you would think. Now, I'm always monitoring the 15-minute chart. However, I trade purely on the 5-minute chart. And what did we notice? From open all the way until 11 a.m., we never had a higher high. Every single 5-minute candle had a lower high, guaranteeing that we were staying in that downtrend. A common mistake that new traders make is that they try to buy the bottoms, and that's one way to for sure blow up an account or to lose a lot of money really fast. You always want to be on the side of the market momentum. That's how you make the real money in trading. And how you keep the money is you only trade when the market is trending, whether it be up or down, and you avoid these choppy markets where a lot of traders get frustrated and they end up blowing up their accounts. And I've seen this time and time again. A lot of traders have already reached out to me via email asking, what they need to change to become profitable and what mistakes they are making because they keep blowing accounts. And I'll see days like today where they will literally just buy 1 or 2 NASDAQ contracts. They'll get stopped out, so they'll instantly reverse their position and then they'll get stopped out again. And before you know it, 4 or 5 of those stop losses are hit and then your account's gone. And I know this personally from experience. When I started out trading, before I was able to become profitable, I had many days like that where I would lose an account and I wouldn't even really know why I took a trade or what really happened during that trading day. And I had to go back and watch my recording and I'd be like, what in the heck was I doing? And the number one thing that helped me get from that back and forth unprofitability to being profitable is to look at multiple different kind of charting styles. So as you can see here, if I turn on the Heiken Ashi candles, it's very clear to identify that we had a downtrend from market open all the way until 11. If you're unfamiliar with these candles, it's definitely worth taking a peek into. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but for me, it's definitely helped avoid kind of fighting the trend of the market and allowing me to hold my positions longer to obtain more profit. Also, I kind of like to verify that VIX is also trending in the direction in which I think the market's going to be going. In general, VIX, when it goes up, essentially we expect the market to go down. When VIX goes down, we expect the market to go up. No, it's not always like that, but it's just measuring the overall volatility in the market. And the more volatility there is, the more downside moves are kind of expected. Again, there is a lot more to the VIX than that. However, that's just kind of how I use it to align my overall bias. Another thing I mentioned in a previous video of my Confluences that I like to watch is at that 1055, we see NVIDIA, which is a big tech leader for the NASDAQ, start to bottom out, and then it basically goes straight to the upside for the rest of the day. Now, a lot of traders struggle with getting in for an upside momentum, a slow grind to the upside. And one of my favorite entries to look for is a break and retest. And as you can see, we broke through the high of the day and then we retested it again before continuing that move to the upside. And this is how the market moves every single day. It does kind of a stair step to the upside, and it can present a lot of good entries with low risk, higher reward opportunities for really good setups. Again, this is just things to think about and maybe implement in your trading style. Maybe it's something you can watch or retest over the last couple of days to see if your trading style fits some of these things that I've mentioned. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to what your personality is, what your style of trading is, and things that make sense to you and allow you to see the market in a clear and consistent way. So if we switch back to regular candles, this is how I typically trade right here with a ᴏᴜᴜ kind of like above my main trading setup, just to help me identify direction. You can see from like that market open all the way till 9:30, every single top of the candle is lower than the previous, identifying that we are in a downtrend. And then you can view the volume at the bottom of the screen to kind of give that overall picture of when sellers are in control versus when buyers are in control. And truthfully, for trading, all you really need is volume price analysis. So if you're not familiar with candles and volume, I definitely recommend checking out a few videos or books on really understanding how that kind of works. So today I started 5 TopStep X evaluations. I started these evaluations because I did switch from Apex to fast track trading. However, there was some intermittent rhythmic issues yesterday, so I'm waiting for my accounts to get updated there. So I decided not to trade them today, pending like their announcements, and they're working the whole rhythmic problem. So I was able to lock in over $3,000 across 5 150K combines for TopStep, and all of the profit was obtained by only trading 1 NASDAQ contract. I had 3 separate trades, each right around that $1,000 mark. And that's something I've definitely found out is I used to try to pass these evaluations trading like 5 mini contracts or 10 mini contracts to just kind of like max out the $4,500 daily max profit, because you can only have the 50% consistency for the TopStep evaluations. However, I just would blow those evals, so I highly recommend sizing down if you're going to use a company like TopStep for the evaluations. And then, as I mentioned previously, fast track trading does not have evaluations. You're just directly into your account where all your profit starts counting toward your payout. So it's always good to start out small, use micros, and try to get consistent, because they also require a 20% consistency. And another one of my favorite things about both of these prop firms is they both have end of day trailing drawdown. There's no intraday unrealized drawdown that you have to worry about. And with fast track trading specifically, you also can request a free Bookmap license. So I've had a lot of people asking about Bookmap and what I use. I currently paid for the Global Plus, and I also had to pay for a Rhythmic membership previously for Bookmap. But now if you use fast track trading, all you have to do is contact support and they will get you that license for your Bookmap. So if you guys had any questions during this video on any of the topics that I covered, or about my strategy or things that I'm looking for, definitely leave those comments below. Also, if there was anything you struggled with in the market, or something that you're seeing, or a pattern that you're noticing that maybe some other traders aren't, definitely drop that below. I like to kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and I think that's the best way to grow as traders. Now let's hop in the live trade from today. Now, as you can see, this trade is not taken at the open. Like I said in my previous videos, I like to wait like the first, 15-30 minutes to start to get a good direction of what the market is doing. And I did notice here that sellers were starting to step back in. As you can see from the Bookmap, these black dots indicate market sell orders. And the liquidity at 18,600 was removed, and to me it looked like 18,550 was kind of like the new level that order got moved to. So it kind of gave me a impression that order wanted to get filled a little bit lower. So I'm thinking the market is going to move a lot lower here. Again, this is all speculation based off of patterns and things that I have seen watching Bookmap and watching how the market moves. This is not like a guaranteed exactly what happened. That's just kind of what I was thinking. As you can see, I did get stopped out prematurely on that first short, and I hop back in here, and I like to immediately get break even as soon as the trade starts to go in my direction, and then we do start to finally get this flush. And as always, I always trail my trades just to make sure I am guaranteed to lock in some profit. I kind of try to give it like 10-15 points of wiggle room, but then when I'm ready to start to get out of my trade, I will make my stop really tight. And a good idea of the momentum is watching the second candle on the 5-minute chart right there. You can see that it's holding below that current level, so I have my stop right above it, anticipating a break through that green line, which was a key previous level. As you can see, we bottomed there about 15 minutes ago, and I'm expecting us to like H pattern and flush right through that. Now, something to note, the NASDAQ is very volatile, so sometimes these H patterns can be a fake breakout, so I like to really trail my stop as soon as we start to flush there to immediately lock in some profits, because typically what you'll see is the price action bounce back up and retest kind of that level that it broke. And as you can see, we do start to hesitate in this area. So we flushed through that initial green line where I thought we were gonna break, but then we started hesitating. So I'm gonna bring my trailing stop very tight, expecting to get out of this trade and just take the win. And if we go back and look at the chart during the day, I got in on this flush here and I got out right here, and I'm glad I did, because like I said, we immediately went back and retested that area. So that would have been almost break even back to my entry versus just locking in that profit there. And as you can see, I do have 5 of the 150K combines, each of them with over $3,000 in profit. So I'm going to keep trading these to get them to express funded accounts this week. And then I'm excited to get back to trading my fast track trading Rhythmic accounts. They should be all good to go by tomorrow. So I'm excited to continue to document my process to pay out there. So stay tuned for more on fast track trading to come.